It's all been worth it
I hope so.
to get it fixed.
Just gonna leave HW monitor open just in case it goes crazy again. But it looks like we're.
I would
So you're saying
recommend
pretty.
not leaving it open.
Why?
Well, because the only thing you'll do is probably give yourself more anxiety. You'll notice
I'll
that
have
the fans start
less
running.
anxiety knowing than I'll have more anxiety not knowing.
All right.
Computers, cutely. All right.
Sorry about that. I fixed the problem. Thanks, Christian. Spell his name right. We're live now.
Moi.
We did it.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. You didn't change anything. Rather, are the settings good in the options menu now?
There are no settings in the options menu, actually, Christian.
Well, there were. Just like VSync.
Oh, yeah. Let me turn that back off since it was causing screen tearing.
All right.
Okay.
Take a swig of water. Stretch. Get all your free channels points in.
Oh, we
Get
are
your
live.
voice ready and able.
I hope you are ready, chat, for the rest of case 1. So the issue was apparently Great Ace Attorney is a terrible port, and it was just using multiple CPU threads for no good reason. Why? Fuck me, I guess.
It's thematic
Yeah, that's
to
what
the
it is.
game's themes. That's what thematic means.
No, I was gonna say I needed a couple minutes.
Oh no.
What's up, Doug?
Huh? I just literally need a couple.
What for what?
Cause I'm stressed out.
Oh. It's sympathy stress. Secondhand stress.
Secondhand stress.
Well, how you doing, chat? How you guys hanging? Yeah, nice.
Let's just go for it.
No, it's okay. We can wait a minute and a half because an ad's now rolling.
No.
For those who are not here, those who are not watching the ad, I'll take this moment to take a deep breath and tell you to go to highdive.com or an open ocean of your choice and watch the first episode. Well, not right now. You're here watching us right now. And watch the first episode of Boku no Kokoro no Yabayatsu, as we have told you to do many a time before. Well, we've told you to read it.
That's a mouthful.
Boku no Kokoro no Yabayatsu. Ooh.
You must have been practicing that.
I will never say... I'm not going to save anything. I'll talk about it all the time. Talks cutely. Last time we presented the water bottle and it's like, hey, there could be poison in here. And she said, no, there's not. Or something to that effect, maybe. And then the cute Japanese girl walked into the room and was like, hey, I've got something. And now.
Well, I understand you are the judicial descendant of the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Heavy.
Just got off the tongue.
A judicial assistant and a woman, no less.
Every ism is present.
Welcome to the turn of the century.
Welcome to the turn of the century.
1900s, baby.
The turn is not yours.
It's Wu Fei.
Move it!
Women are not allowed in the courtroom.
Women are not allowed in the courtroom. Allow me to update the Twitter header on my Twitter for a moment, chat.
And especially women who are judicial assistants.
They are especially banned.
Ron's quiet. Is he?
Yeah.
Hang on.
No, I can hear him.
How about now?
Well, I can still hear you.
Yeah.
Allow me to check if I have him turned down.
That's a little
I
better.
do not.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a little better.
He's better now, Chad. He's better.
Okay. It's still good. It's still good.
Yeah, we're fine.
That was better.
Alright, cool cats. Let's get this case wrapped up.
With women, no less.
With women.
Are you wrapped up with women again?
Never. Kazuma.
No.
You know I'd never.
I'd never get wrapped up with women. What do you mean?
Get it
I'm
home.
doing alright, Frosty. Don't mind me. Just getting the everything out of my system, you know.
She's preparing her throat for racism.
Excellent.
The rules
Oh my God.
state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
Females.
The 1900s, baby.
Yes, I fully understand. I only ask for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense.
Ha! You're too late, little girl. This defense has already been concluded.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
But you're insane.
I am most grateful.
Bruh.
The power of Jigoku.
Who exactly are you?
You'll find out if I can clear my fucking throat already.
I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now.
What is it? A report about something? Written in English.
It's Giselle Brett's research.
The English woman's.
After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper.
Oh, yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she?
You've been hit by. You've been struck by.
So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case?
I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
Oh, no, of course not.
Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting.
Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before.
I wonder why. Ron?
Oh, sorry.
Time's up.
Jesus. We're well prepared.
The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom.
This female trespass.
Female.
There was too little time for me to read it in detail. But I've summarized what I could in a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
This is wonderful. Thank you. Sweet.
Hey, she's still here.
Goodbye then, and good luck.
Right on, Bren. With the tier 1. For 28 months. Oh my god.
Thank you
That's a
very
lot of
much.
months. Thank you.
That's a lot of months.
Yeah.
You have had long enough, Counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
Maybe you want to read check out that thing.
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency. Or help, Britannia.
Why don't we go look at that? Yeah.
Wait a second, Judge.
No, don't listen to him.
Poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungle of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey.
Ooh.
Instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses.
Ooh.
The above-mentioned effect occurs when the poison enters the body through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full-body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation.
Poison!
Poison!
I get it. She shot him and then put the poison in him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ryunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance.
That's right.
Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence.
Bullshit.
I don't believe it.
That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior.
Oh, you know it.
Well, Miss Brett?
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer.
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to politely decline.
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order.
Ooh. He's cool.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention?
Oh, I wonder.
Weird.
It's a mystery.
Yes, Miss Jesse Brett. We understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University, doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison.
The
Oh.
copter.
It is clipped.
It clipped.
What?
There we go.
Poison? Poison! Where are you going with this, counsel?
A toxin known as curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
What? What complete another nonsense? Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it. Ever.
You wouldn't have done.
What do you mean? What does he mean by this?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before, for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country.
It doesn't exist.
Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
What?
Order! Order! Say, Squinny! Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist?
According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle, and that it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. Quit fussing with those papers. I'm trying to talk. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
I finished reading.
Thanks.
Trumpery! These aspersions are utter trumpery!
But he got indicted.
He did. To start with, if the victim had been administered some of the so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed.
Surely.
Surely.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector?
What
You could ask us.
do you say to that,
We know.
Inspector?
Indeed. Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that.
I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain.
Ryunosuke, you just said you finished reading.
Oh God, what did I do? I hit autoplay by accident. God. Wrong clicking.
According to this, however, it's the other way around. You skipped Ron's line.
Ron, quick.
What do you mean the other way around? What does he mean by this?
The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used.
What do you mean by that?
Explain yourself, Counsel.
I missed it.
Ryunosuke, it's okay. You can't read English. The
Oh
moment
my
this
God.
toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis.
Source?
Your Honor, I made it the fuck up. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move.
What the fuck?
Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all.
Terrible.
Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed.
But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death.
The full explanation is extremely unpleasant.
Uh-oh.
The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail.
Uh-oh.
Respiration?
In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation.
That's not good.
And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
Hideous.
To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison.
Yikes.
And you're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison?
Sorry, give me a sec. This is all very convenient, isn't it? Hitherto? Is that how you pronounce it?
Hitherto.
Hitherto. A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing? What a happy tale for the defense!
Yeah, right.
If I may.
All these facts! You think you're so Oh!
It is you who must be taught.
Of course!
Ron's mic is defeating him at every turn.
The cutoff is so strong, I'm sorry.
So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it?
What?
Yes.
You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Oh,
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime? That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it! The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules!
What's so funny?
Oh, excuse me. Your Excellency?
Yes, Miss Brett.
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see why not. Several reasons why not, actually.
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
You're British. You live on an island. Sorry?
To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers.
Kanpai? Wait! What are you doing?
No.
Taking a swig, obviously.
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned.
So, no curare. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying?
You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
I suppose you're welcome.
Yes, Miss Brett.
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Yes. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given.
This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how did she... How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it.
Well, if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London.
There has to have been poison in that bottle, doesn't there?
Yes.
But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead.
That's what they want you to think.
Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water. The culprit did put curare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position.
Really? You're serious?
Fool! Are you blind? There is no possible way that bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw...
Miss Brett drinking the water from it?
That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think.
And I believe that complication can be explained.
Are you sure?
How exactly?
I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here. One by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be.
It has to be.
Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence.
Evidence?
What explains how this witness was able to consume the supposedly poisoned water unscathed?
I'm pretty sure we just present a report again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, there's another thing there I think I caught.
The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
That's not a valid explanation.
No?
No?
No. After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone. Honest, I'm just reading Susato-san's notes.
Wait, you can read English?
Well, no, I can't read her notes.
I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, Counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle?
Uh,
Yeah, this one you can review.
I think it's special
yeah,
characteristics. Yes.
through the wound. Yeah. Special characteristics.
There must be actual inflicted damage first.
We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something.
Yeah.
Oh, Counsel.
Oh, say, can you counsel?
Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years
Yeah?
to lace the heads of the arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting.
So we've been led to believe, yes.
And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat.
Get to the point, please.
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat?
Yes, good point.
So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison.
Poison!
Good gracious, Counsel! No, that would be madness!
But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound.
Oh my god. Through a wound, eh?
Through a wound, you say? I see. That makes sense.
Yes. The mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever.
What?
Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew Kirare's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself.
You meddling little rapscallion!
Yeah, I knew that the swan was alive! Today's attorney
Wow.
game, baby.
Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be.
Really? Me? A lawyer?
All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I fail to see how
So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm
Your
afraid
book?
knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say?
Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw.
Schoolboyish?
Oh?
Way to focus on the point.
We're
As
schoolboys,
even
it's
your
true.
brain has managed to deduce, curare is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus.
Oh, yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they?
So, if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he?
That's right.
Good gracious!
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no?
Order! Order in the court! Order!
I know the flaw, by the way.
Cold. The lady and the professor drank the same poison. They would be affected in the same way.
Are you trying to suggest?
Yes, the curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial.
That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that.
Looks like a Batman villain.
Her mask gets wider as well.
What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like.
Oh,
And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey.
Oh my god,
Naruto
Rinosuke!
The Naruto blood in him sings!
Objection!
Yeah! Oh!
I don't think so, Miss Jesse Brett.
How dare you use that tone with me?
You know very well that there is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead.
Oh my god.
Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the curare?
Because, yeah!
There we go. As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners.
A fatal difference?
The toxic effects of curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But
Love this theme so much.
what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water?
Inside?
That's right.
Yes. Like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day.
So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this.
Is he laughing?
I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are all so puerile.
What do you mean?
Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
No!
I mean, it could just slip.
Oh, so now you want to...
Oh dear. How careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed.
No!
This English woman, she just smashed that bottle!
Why is she allowed to do it? Because she's English.
Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from that broken bottle as possible, at once!
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it.
Damn you, 1900s!
How could you? You won't get away with this.
You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in the bottle, or not.
You.
And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution?
Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady.
That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, every time I see it, it makes me laugh. It's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me, so of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection! No! You killed the victim that day, using curare. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor and his chair around.
Yeah!
See? You had every opportunity to commit this crime!
Get her, Kazuma! What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence.
Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged.
I've never had more fun voicing a racist.
The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now, is she really going to get away with it?
Oh, you thought we had her, but no, no, no! We've got more case!
The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene.
Ryunosuke,
Yes?
we've come this far, now you're the only one who can finish it.
What? What do you mean?
We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head.
In my head?
You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend upon.
Well, yes, that's true, but
You're gonna love this.
I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head.
So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day.
Think, Ryunosuke.
Now is the time for round of the synapses.
Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
Are you ready for this?
What I saw, what I felt. Every color.
Are you ready?
Yeah!
Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of this same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? I guess there's nothing.
Nothing.
Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something.
Oh my god.
Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue.
You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke?
Don't you bite, Aibo.
Come on then. Let's wipe the smug smile off that Englishwoman's face with some evidence.
All right, I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. It's here somewhere. What could it be? It shows Dr. Wilson's real killer.
Gosh, I wonder what it is.
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this.
Yes. What is it?
He's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed.
He does
What a
love his
great-
evidence.
What a great inspector.
As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you?
Absolutely.
I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime? Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Objection! Shut up!
Franz might cut him
No
off, and then
time.
she cut him off.
Well, actually, no, I cut myself off. 'Cause
Where are
Anyway.
you going with this, little boy?
It's just a memory that's been troubling me.
Sephiroth?
What memory?
I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day.
Oh yeah, Ryunosuke, did you? Did you, buddy?
Yes,
I
when I
did.
shot him.
Fuck! And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a spattering of blood.
What? Nani?
Oh,
Man,
really?
no.
And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor.
No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there.
Sorry for the pausing, everyone. I'm trying to get some chips out of a bag, but it's really crinkly and it's loud, so I didn't want to be on the mic. So I have to like mute and click and mute and click and.
Share, please?
I have cookies.
The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. I can't snack right now, my throat would get clogged up. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way that blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him.
Oh my god.
That's true, Ryunosuke, you can't have blown his back out.
We know the bullet was stuck in his body.
Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as you were. Giselle Brett!
I beg your pardon?
This is beyond ridiculous! Fabricated nonsense! Is the court seriously expected to believe something that the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
That's a fair point. Huh? Who?
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to.
Well, thanks to Chuma for 13 months. You're just in time for the crux of this case.
Inspector, you mean...
Yes, I took the plate, in the interests of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime.
Oh my god, this actually has payoff right now.
I took it, meat and all, And I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it.
You're
Sneaky Maldron.
amazing, Inspector.
Is he bleeding? That's right, Goro. He is bleeding. He's got the consumption.
You did what?
I took the steak you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice.
Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a blood stain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now.
Wow, wow, wow.
Inspector! The court wishes to examine the plate from this victim's table immediately!
Yes, sir. Sorry for the delay.
The final proof.
Here's what you ordered. The steak.
Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it?
Of course there isn't!
Sorry, I'm eating cookies right now. Quickly, Inspector! The blood man! Show the court!
Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure.
What?
No blood.
But no, that's impossible! I know, I saw it, I'm sure of it.
He's short of it.
It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate.
What an unbecoming expression, little boy.
Ah.
You see? This is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you.
I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire.
Suck up.
I believe we may have finally reached a conclusion in this trial.
Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over.
Ha! This sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly.
That is a little sorry looking.
It's half eaten.
If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest.
Okay.
I would ask if I could eat some, but no.
Was the plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? This is it now. I've lost.
Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what.
Believe in myself? Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself.
As the evidence
Examine
requested by the
the
defense... As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way...
Give us a second. I'm gonna take a bite.
Don't make this your last meal,
What?
Ryunosuke.
This emblem on the side of the plate. Is it a cat?
It's a bowl.
It's a cow, obviously.
It's a squatting amogus.
Oh my god.
Most likely because the restaurant's signature dish is beefsteak. It seems a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware.
So this is the symbol of La Carnival, is it?
Yeah.
Is there anything under it?
Well,
I mean, under the plate. Nope.
steak time.
I do like steak. Huh? What the? What in the world is this?
The Koban!
I think it's a Koban coin, and the hallmark is from the Hoei era.
Cold Billy!
No, I don't mean what is it. I mean, what's it doing there? Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban?
Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable.
This isn't the first time today that there's been talk of a Hoei Koban.
I've heard about pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion and bouillon.
And I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means...
That's right, it's the goddamn Koban. Drink
I
water.
certainly never expected to find a precious coin underneath this thick cut of meat.
Thick.
I'll be jealous.
Oh, stretchy time!
And it's from the Hoei era, too. That would make it really quite valuable.
Okay, stretch.
It's well marinated in the juices as well, look.
Ryunosuke!
What, are you thinking of eating it?
No, but the next time I order a steak in an expensive restaurant, one thing's for sure. My heart's going to be racing as I lift up the meat and peer underneath for a prize.
He's a bit dim, but he does his best.
Ryunosuke, it's not a gachapon machine. I think you might have the wrong end of the stick about this, Ryunosuke.
A Koban coin underneath the steak. Well, there's only one logical explanation.
Free with every meal.
Okay.
Are you done, gentlemen? I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary.
Too late, sir.
Does the defense have any objection?
That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all?
Nothing
Well,
else,
yes.
Ryunosuke.
Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth.
The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak.
Ah, Chip. I'm being defeated. Hoisted by my own ship.
Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I'll not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I would not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
He's so cool.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Oh, Chikoku.
Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is this new clue to be found?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it's the same.
There's a Koban here.
Present.
Got it!
Got it!
Why is he English?
Good gracious!
Because his actor is half Japanese.
It's all dressed Lays. Anime Blaze.
Koban.
A Koban.
What on earth?
A Hoei era wanted that.
Miss Brett. This is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen a thing before in my life. I don't know what that is, but I want no part of it.
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat?
This case is crazy.
That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction.
Don't be absurd. we're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen. A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now.
He's right. It can't be a coincidence.
Can't be.
Your Excellency,
Yes, Counsel?
a rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Everyone's screaming at each other.
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize it is you who is irrelevant.
Even though I'm the one on trial here. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that steak.
The owner?
Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the shit. The owner of the coven was found underneath the beefsteak.
Get ready, Doug.
Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer and owner of Rasute, Kyoryo Correcto-san. Kyoryo Correcto.
My
Curie? As in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable.
It is pretty silly.
Yes. The old man testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct?
Yes, Your Excellency.
I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you
Hunting for treasure. Indeed, a Hoer Koban, my prized coin.
Then this rare Koban. Do you mean to tell me?
Duck. Can we get a quack?
What do you think that was?
Can you do that again? Can you do that again?
Where?
No. Please. How could Correcto-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate? It makes no sense.
Yes!
That's the point. Which is why I'm asking to bring Correcto-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him.
Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay.
This case is fucking wild. We're back to the first witnesses. Let's go!
I can't believe we've come back round to that pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban,
I told y'all to remember that fucking coin. That goddamn coin was gonna be so crucial in this case.
we'll find that it's a key element in the case, just like she
I
said.
love this case so much. It's so stupid.
It's gonna come back in 2 final. I bet you.
To be continued. No.
This game
We're
is
all
actually
back, baby. All 4 of them.
This game's actually just one case.
No, not. No. What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize it's dinner time for my little baby Ido?
I don't know. So,
When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves!
Exploited by the police we were. Like miserable dogs, forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice, a worthless withered antique.
Oh my god. I can't. I can't take it. Oh my god. Okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
I have a knife.
no!
That's Tuck. That's all Tuck. He's killing it.
Nothing more have I to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop owner's existence.
Oh my god.
Be that as it may, Corrector-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, have you ever seen...
Yes, that's it. The very one. The very one that it is.
Look at Ido's face.
I know it's fucking looking at this kid like, oh god, daddy!
Oh, it's in his foot! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, splendid for his holy treasure, that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day.
God.
Can't be.
As I thought.
Young man, enlighten this decrepit old fool, put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped?
Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere.
I'm dying.
We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices.
Please don't, I'm hungry.
Sandwiched, soaking, seriously? Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident.
Clearly.
Which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
On purpose?
Somebody concealed my holy treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate. Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing!
Yeah.
Excuse me. Could I say something?
Yes, of course.
Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga.
I mentioned this earlier on the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case.
Oh my god, it's true.
Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation. La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts, targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have reported to the police bureau.
Wicked crimes indeed.
Wicked crimes indeed.
Wicked.
Wicked, gnarly!
We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected.
So, that's why you were sent in undercover, is it?
Yes. I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal.
Like a toilet.
It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief.
Oh my god.
So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work at the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems.
Oh my god, several crimes.
I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Corrector-san's Koban is all too clear.
What?
What?
I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Corrector-san's Koban and hid it under the stake?
Clearly.
Bop!
Oh, I was going to say Miss Brett, but I suppose this is also true.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Yasanosa.
How dare you, you monster!
You monster frisbee!
The cake was delicious.
Monster.
I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me! It was Ido! Ido was the mastermind behind all this!
He's
my
blaming
God.
the baby.
Not cool,
What?
dude. Not cool.
Wow. But even I wouldn't go to stuff like.
You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son? An innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. Put him in jail. We're done with this case.
Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop.
Holy shit. Oh.
Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Isanosa, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir.
Rip to a real one. Well, we had our first breakdown. Hooray!
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So good.
Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those that expect to keep the country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remains in place. I have heard it's all hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son!
That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant?
The place is heaving with money! Every 3 days I'd go there and do reconnaissance for a target! I'd enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time!
It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable.
And your target that day was the old man and his koba?
Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. What a phantom thief you are! I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened.
Gone.
I shot him! Yes, when the professor was shot.
BRB.
The professor is sus?
I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I don't too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it at a later date.
Okay.
This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time.
Well, Miss Brett. Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us.
Oh, did Ron BRB?
Yeah. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency.
Indeed.
Indeed.
The theft of the Como was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant.
You baby saddled?
It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
Nonsense, is it?
Well,
And as for picking up your steak and biting into it with using a knife and fork, that's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone.
Bye.
And good day.
Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming.
Time for daydreaming.
What the
lad.
broken bottle? You just remembered about it.
Oh, no, it's just... Something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up.
A contradiction.
If that's the case, then don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard.
Sorry?
You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Oh, you're right.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett.
What is it now?
I'm afraid, just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago.
What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Oh my god! What new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
These ones.
Yeah, these ones. The sheer nonsense of the idea.
How wacky.
It's pure madness.
Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction.
I'm going to need to see evidence, Counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where's the evidence to prove it?
Shabingus!
The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed, yes. Go on.
More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Sorry, June Bryce.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? What does he mean by this?
What am I cooking? It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Notice what exactly, Counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she. Oh,
Ah, that's me. Jesus.
From here?
We're finding
Yeah,
English.
of course you
gentlemen.
did.
oh, of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at this steak. In particular, the edge where it's been eaten.
Barbaric teeth marks.
You can clearly see teeth marks.
What are you doing?
Ah!
It looks like Miss Brett has realized something.
So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was rabbit. Okay. Oh, whatever you say, dear lady.
As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer.
Of course. This will be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Okay.
I've had enough! You irritating little spectacled samurai relic!
Of course, dear lady.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers?
Haha!
Aha!
Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have for her.
Ryunosuke, she's got huge chompers! Do you know where you're going with this?
Yes, we all know the state of the British teeth. Yes, Now at last it's all come together.
Oh my god, the British teeth.
The mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery.
Allegedly.
The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day.
I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us?
Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats.
How can you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago.
Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been... What?
But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already. And you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? What? That can't be. I don't believe you have it.
I don't! But there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case.
Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request to the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair?
Oh, you
Satoru
know who it
Hosonaga.
is. You know who
It
it
was
is.
you! You killed Dr. Wilson! The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga.
What? I have it?
Yes,
You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous.
Bonitis.
No. I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this steak with the teeth marks.
Yes.
Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. And as well as admitting to stealing Korekoto-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak.
You watch it, cadet! I'm a superior officer!
Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak?
Ted, shut! Authoritative, of course! I might be a soldier in the pure Nippon Army, but still! I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentleman if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it.
In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
But that makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table.
Yet, the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin.
Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Good!
Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
The brothers' paradox.
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the 2 sticks over.
You did switch the plates?
Well, after it happened. Gone. When I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my stick and hid the Quinn underneath it.
My God.
Then, when the waiter announced that he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders.
Well, you're gonna get them anyways, so like, bruh.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't have.
True.
So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance.
I seized my chance. Put that baby away.
Down, boy.
With military precision and timing, I switched my stick with the one on the foreign lady's table.
What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing.
It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There's no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done.
He's laughing.
Unbelievable!
I love this Italian Wars character.
However, fear not, Prosecutor-san.
What now?
I swear on the press ones on my uniform, that is all I did. Sir! Sir!
That's fantastic. All you did? That's plenty honest.
Agreed.
Yes.
So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table.
Yes, that follows.
Inspector Hosonaga,
Yes.
earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. Did you notice? I noticed that to preserve evidence, you had taken both.
That's correct.
Then please present it to the court now.
We're getting to the end of this.
The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
It's pursuit
What
time!
can that possibly tell us now? I mean,
Hell
a
yeah.
cold slab of tough meat. It can't have the slightest bearing on the case.
No, you're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady.
I beg your pardon.
Goodbye, your mask.
Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why this steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you. No?
You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense asked to see that plate was to confirm something the defense remembers seeing.
Thinks he remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table, directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest.
I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now, we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett.
Let us not prolong this any further.
For
Inspector,
once.
you will show this evidence to the court. Present the beef stick and the plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident.
I love this theme. No! Fucking don't want to say it!
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Right when you said it, it turned down, of course.
Sorry for keeping you. Here's the other stick and its plate. Please, feel free to examine it.
My God.
And you call yourself a cop? Notice the blood, idiot!
Everyone
They
in
do.
Japan, everyone in Japan is Godot.
It's clearly visible. Yes.
Now, this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, He was facing the table with his back to me.
In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim.
Can't be.
In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right, Miss Jessica Brett. It's you!
Outdone? By a Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No. No, no!
Oh my god, the lungs on this woman! Bye.
Chicken.
Oh, they're so cute.
All Hayo Britannia?
It's so cute. Anyway.
Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett. I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth, this time.
This time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life, using curare. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no traces of poison would be found in his water.
That's right.
Because curare is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water and it would all be over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table.
That would be me, I suppose.
Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter. But the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man.
I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage.
State strapped.
You fucking dog, you fucking goddamn son of a bitch.
Okay.
I have the bottle of curare in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt.
I knew it!
Sorry. Under your skirt. Under your skirt.
So I was right. There were two guns.
There were.
You should have
two
let me
guns.
rip her dress.
Yes,
And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave.
Christian.
That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Placed where you were sure that I would notice it.
And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I'd intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up,
Gone.
Bang!
That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point, he was already dead.
naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared.
Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry, then adjoined the kitchen and locked him inside.
And that's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around.
Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he picked up the gun.
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor.
Felony.
Your Excellency,
Yes?
I wonder, might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san.
But why did you do it?
Why indeed, Ron?
What? We never found that out yet? No.
It would seem this trial has finally run its course.
Why did she kill him? You'll never know.
I presume the prosecution is in agreement?
This can't be. Taketsuchi Ouchi does not lose. Not to the likes of this rookie student.
You'd better start getting used to tough opposition.
Yeah, that's funny, Dio. Funny you say that.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? Yes?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten.
You've become conceited with age, Counsel. But the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Ha! 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Ouchi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan.
Ooh,
Damn.
baby!
And a curse was placed upon the family.
That's good. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan, they will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system.
But you're out of day.
Despite being someone as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world.
We stopped having them be closed, yes.
But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here.
Science.
I feel assured that the science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice.
Could someone renew my haircut?
A new future of law awaits, but what it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma-sama.
Yes,
After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you.
I understand, Your Excellency.
Do you understand, Kazuma?
What?
Do you truly understand?
What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden?
Congreve?
Never mind.
I want to mind. Oh,
As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo,
yes?
Yeah, the guy who's on trial.
in you I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that on.
You've got Prevail level 9, baby.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty.
Yay! This is the cherry blossoms, yay! Because we're Japanese court, yay!
She's still in strong.
I saw Alchie over there. I like that.
He's locked in shock.
This court is now adjourned. Thank
we
you,
did it.
Thank you, Meiji Restoration.
We did it! We beat the first case!
All right.
It was
And Alchie
reducing.
was never heard from again.
22nd November, 2:46 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants, Antechamber 5.
I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial.
That's right, Ryunosuke Naruhodo!
Ryunosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma.
No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget.
Ah,
Christian, I think this is
Christian.
Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off.
oh shit,
Never
no,
mind.
it's not.
Congratulations to both of you.
Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do anything.
Thank you so much. If we hadn't had that research report from Mr. Bretz, I don't know how things would have turned out.
Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate.
Your father? Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah. Mikotoba.
Mikotoba. Yeah,
Look
right.
out, it's Mikotoba.
Speaking of Mikotoba. There you are.
Christian!
I'm sorry. Let me get some water first. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job.
Hold
You
on.
really, truly did. Absolutely.
Mikotoba-san, please don't continue staring at him like this.
I'm
baller.
sending a message to someone! Oh my god, patience!
You are baller.
Did you like my impression of my daughter?
I'm getting run by these nerds!
Mikotoba-san, you could be an excellent ventriloquist.
Thank you, Kazuma.
You take 5 seconds to send someone a message on
I do
Discord.
enjoy the Meiji Restoration.
God damn it!
Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right.
Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson.
Exactly.
Also, sorry if you can hear my computer fan on stream chat. It keeps going up and down with the CPU. It's really good at holding a temperature, but it's not good at lowering temperatures. So, fortunately, it's sticking in this 5-degree range that procs the fans every now and then.
In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together?
And they were colleagues.
Oh, you can't hear rid of the game music?
And they were roommates.
They were roommates.
Oh my god, they were colleagues. I've never heard you mention that before.
Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi.
Oh,
Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world.
Does it really?
At
the
this
time.
time of
At the time.
decade, yes. Well, millennia. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law.
In law.
Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot.
I will. I'll learn all that I can.
I love a good fondue.
I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan.
You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you?
Of course he
I am.
is.
Of course I am.
Bah.
A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. And cuts down anything that's in my way.
I love this.
Like his hair? Yes. I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes.
Prosecutor Ouchie in the corner. Ah,
That reminds me, what's happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder.
Ah, yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future, for Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that. What? But why not?
Who's this?
Hello. Inspector Hosonaga.
it was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must
But what's this all about? Consular jurisdiction?
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? We can't try her? But then who? Who's going to bring her to justice?
A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard.
But why a consular court?
Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past, now that we've signed the friendship treaty.
Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right.
Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of highly political nature to our respective governments,
Oh, but it is.
they can't invoke a consular court just like that.
Oh, can't they?
Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our government's making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid that for the young student. Today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her.
She truly can control the speed at which she breaths after all.
That's right.
I don't believe it.
Drink your water, nerds.
The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously.
But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil, this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt.
All I'll say is that Giselle gets what's coming to her.
Good.
That woman will receive the judgment she deserves.
Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it.
Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink.
Kampai?
But, Professor,
You're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun.
In that case, might I suggest La Carnival?
fuck no.
As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink.
You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you?
Bonitis. Let's not worry about the details for now.
Don't confuse the issue with the facts.
To La Carnival. Will you accompany us, Professor?
Of course, La Carnival's food is second to none.
Professor.
I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Goodbye!
Best girl out. So, Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson.
Correct.
Brother.
Motive decay.
Kazuma,
Yes, Ryunosuke?
I just wanted to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin today.
I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work.
Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world.
Who's this game named after? I'm not so sure about that.
Huh?
You don't know that, actually. Sorry. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me.
What? Come on, be serious.
If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it, for being a defense lawyer, I mean.
Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat. I never want to go through that ever again.
Yeah,
And I
9
never
pages
will.
later.
I did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you.
That's the point.
Sorry? What do you mean that's the point?
What does he mean?
I'm about to tell you. Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win?
Knowledge of the law?
No. The ability to believe.
To believe? To believe what?
A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times.
Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it.
I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes, in the courtroom, you can be really backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you chose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person.
Believing in your client.
Pretty whack, if you ask me.
Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me.
Well,
You faced seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it, through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me.
Thanks, Kazuma.
There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me.
It sounds serious. What is...
Ah, you're still here, are you? I'm going to interrupt this conversation.
Oh, Inspector Hosonaga.
Yeah.
I've arranged for some rickshaws for us. Let's go.
Thank you. We'll be right there.
Very good.
Isn't he a detective?
Let's pick this conversation up again later.
God damn it, Christian.
We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory.
And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget.
Ah, yes, that too.
So, my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma, Professor Mikotoba, Susato-san, who acted as my assistant for 5 minutes, Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still,
Oh.
it was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial.
I gave you evidence.
But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life.
Oh my god. And
And
that's it. That's the
we'll see
first
you-
trial.
In Great Ace Attorney 2.
Kazuma, while I'm in Great Britain, I need you to take care of my cat. Thank you.
Oh dear. The last time someone asked that in Ace Attorney, that turned out to be a really bad thing.
Okay,
Alright, Christian wants this real bad,
Yes.
so we'll fucking do it, Christ.
10
That was-
minutes later, in
That was the
escapades.
first case and it lasted 5 hours.
And there. This is...
Just look at my priceless treasure now! Myself I have scrubbed and scrubbed! But the repellent odor of meat will never be repelled from its splendid surface again!
God damn it,
Give me some
Christian.
warning.
It's already paid off.
But you have it back in your possession at least. You should be grateful, old man.
How dare you!
Excuse me, but I'd just like to get at that Sabotan cushion there if I could.
What? Okay. Rest assured, you miserable military malefactor, this is not over! Incarceration awaits those who would defraud a senior citizen for his priceless treasures!
Watch your tongue, old man. Mark my words, I won't.
You're going to jail!
Sorry, Sergeant, but could I just get at that Sabotan cushion there as well?
Oh. I won't go to jail. Never. Imagine if I did. The very next day, my boy would starve up the chain the commander placed to provide for him.
Oof, using a child to protect yourself? Myself, I call that abstinent cowardice.
Oh, really? Oh, just employ this old poor defensive senior citizen tactic, The only way to fight an enemy who's using underhanded tactics is with a tit-for-tat strategy.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but I just need to get at that Western-style cushion there on the sofa.
Ryunosuke, what the fuck are you doing with
This
this?
insubordination. What do you want, man?
The cushions! Oh, please don't mind me.
Aha! Do my eyes deceive me? Or is this the wide-eyed criminal from the trial before?
Wide-eyed, perhaps, but criminal? No.
Oh. What is this unhealthy fascination you exhibit with the seating arrangements of others?
Doug, thanks for the 5 gifts subs, Bizarre. Yeah, I don't blame you at all, buddy.
Why are you peering under the cushion of this upholstered seat?
Oh, well, the thing is...
Any luck? Did you find it?
Haha! No, sadly not. I don't think it's here, Kazuma.
You really are a liability, Ryunosuke.
Report! What? Have you lost something? Is that it?
Yes. We were just on our way to a party to celebrate my friend's victory here when...
I realized that my university pin badge was missing.
University pin badge, you say?
Yes, from my color hair, you see?
Affirmative! Uniforms must be kept in prime condition at all times. The missing badge is unacceptable.
I thought if I looked around, it would probably turn up somewhere. Like the old tale of the Koban coin and the steak.
A parable of which I am acutely aware.
The old tale, huh?
But I've exhausted my search now, really. The only logical conclusion is that someone must have stolen it.
Don't look at me! I don't just find any old metal objects irresistible, you know! Imagine what would happen if little Trooper Ido here swallowed something like that!
I'm afraid we'll have to give up, Ryunosuke. Still, if you tell the office your student number, they should be able to issue you a new one.
Ah!
What's the matter? Don't tell me.
Yes, I don't remember my student number.
Ryunosuke!
I don't believe it. I mean, this is the second time you've lost your badge, isn't it?
Third, actually.
Knew it.
If you didn't think you could remember it, you should have made a note of it somewhere. I told you that until I was blue in the face the last time this happened.
Yes, I do seem to remember someone telling me something along those lines.
I bet that was Kazuma's favorite the whole time.
It was you, was it?
You can't even remember who told you that you needed to remember it?
Well, student numbers are 6 digits, Kazuma. Who could remember 6 whole digits?
Yume isn't exactly a long-established university, you know. All of our numbers are still rather low. In fact, they only use the last 3 digits.
Well, that might help, I suppose.
Oh my god.
That might help.
I can remember 16.
Ryunosuke, it's only 3 digits you needed to remember. Just 3.
Sorry, my brain is such a disappointment.
My god.
Yes, well, anyway, young man. Myself, I was greatly impressed with you in the courtroom today, even if you were a
thank you.
criminal.
Oh, you mean me?
Oh,
A lawyer already, before you've even graduated. And such a loyal friend to this one.
boy. This one? What's that supposed to mean?
Oh no, I still have much to learn. In fact, that was brought home to me in no uncertain terms only last year. My Achilles heel was spectacularly exposed by my best friend here.
Indeed.
What? By me? This is the first I've heard about it.
Yes, by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You can't have forgotten, surely. It was last summer, at the speech contest.
The speech contest? Oh, that.
Contestants had to take to the stage and deliver a public address on any subject they chose.
Hello, Albert.
We were competing to give the most compelling and powerful speech.
And yours was great. It made a huge impression on the audience.
Obviously, since I was a budding student of law, I was determined to win. And sure enough, one by one, my opposition fell. When I reached the final at last, I came up against you.
Yes, so you did.
Not being rude, but when I first laid eyes on you, I thought to myself,
Uh-oh. Not being rude, but I'm about to be very rude.
Not to be racist, but...
this cheeky, wide-eyed no-hoper is out of his depth. He's going to be a pushover.
Best friends, alright. Jesus.
It'll be just like that.
That was their first
Be
speech.
honest. Be honest,
That's your version of not being rude, is it?
Good lord.
They haven't
Well,
known each
I
other
thank you
for
for my complacency, because it brought on that humiliating defeat.
huh? Defeat? How were your ranks compromised?
How were your ranks compromised?
He's
I
such a
fucking love Yesanosa.
He's
God.
such a battalion worst character. He's great.
You see, he infiltrated my... My speech was going very well. I had the audience in the palm of my hand. They hung on my every word. And then, when I came to the very last line...
Yes. What happened at the very last line?
It was supposed to be a climactic end. Unfortunately, I completely fouled it up.
Never.
You mean you stumbled on your words?
Spectacularly. Even now, I can't believe I ruined it.
Well, what on earth did you say, man?
Ryunosuke, you better say it. I still can't get my tongue around it.
Sure, of course. I can still recall it perfectly. What you said at the end of your speech, or rather, what you intended to say at the end of your speech, was this. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight in the fight for filial piety.
And what went wrong?
What indeed? Myself, I see no problem with the pronunciation of these paltry words.
In that case, old man, I invite you to say it yourself.
I shall. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight in the fight for filial piety. It's impossible!
The arise, ladies and gentlemen part I delivered perfectly. But the next part had me floundering for a whole 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Holy God!
By the end of it, I was on my knees in front of the podium, a blabbering mess. 5 minutes.
And that's when the audience started to heckle you. Arise, arise, they were shouting.
Arise and live again!
Hell on earth!
But then, of course, this man went and delivered his word-perfect speech, with a perfect ending. How did it go again?
Let me see. So, my dear fellows, the message is simple. Treat your father and mother with respect. Something like that?
I mean, talk about stating the obvious. But the fact is, I lost that speech.
Tongue-tied is the only way to describe it.
Mein Gott.
Well, it is quite tricky to say, I agree. That final fight for filial piety especially.
And ever since that day, I've had this question whirling around in my head. Why did our forefathers choose such an awkward phrase? Was it to mock their children?
Yes.
I mean, it should never have been called filial piety in the first place. Ah!
I got it.
At least you're going to Great Britain soon. It might not come up much there.
Beautiful.
Oh my god.
Well, anyway. Having lost that accursed contest, I came after you to ask you a question. How is it that you never trip up on your words, I inquired. you just gave me a broad smile and said, "Speaking fast is my hobby."
Oh.
I mean, really, what kind of a hobby is that?
Do you think you could take your hand off of your sword? Besides, it's just a way to pass the time.
Going fast makes him feel alive.
After that, you started talking at me 10 to the dozen, like you were possessed almost. Honestly, you can't imagine the shock I suffered that day. You really can't.
You're right. I really can't.
He really can't.
Asshole.
Oh!
Speaking fast is just the sort of hobby I'd expect a civilian like you to waste his time on.
Well, you have to practice, of course. But there are some simple things to start with. Like this famous one, for example. Swift samurai sword swipe silently sideways.
You practiced, Christian. You fucking practiced. I know you did.
Yes. Even a decrepit
amazing.
tongue and an ailing frame such as mine can find its way around that one.
I've no doubt. It's just a bit of fun, really. I can't imagine anybody would struggle with it. Isn't that right, Kazuma?
Asshole.
Uh,
Swift samurai swifts. Oh!
I'm blabbering mess by word too.
It's not just a samurai. Every good soldier needs to be able to handle a sword. That's why I've been teaching Ido the finer points of swordplay. None of this wordplay nonsense, Private.
Come to think of it, not long after that, we started to attend lectures together, didn't we?
They were already dating.
God, they're so gay.
And we got into that debate about family values at the sukiyaki place on campus. Do you remember?
Yes, I can keep thinking about that meat all day. Yes, your argument was full of jokes and puns and wordplay as usual. I remember it well.
Oh, was it?
In any case, I swore that I would never let myself forget the shock you gave me back then. And as a symbol of how seriously I took that oath, I decided to wear this, my red Hachimaki headband.
I've never taken it off since. It's disgusting.
Sorry, Kazuma.
Yes?
You've lost me there, I'm afraid. I don't see the link. What does your red headband have to do with your oath?
Oh no, this is leading somewhere. Because it will always remind me of that smug look on your face as you utter those tantalizing words.
What words? You mean another tongue twister?
I practiced and practiced and practiced until my tongue bled. But in the end, I mastered it.
Mastered what?
Well, I think it's time you heard this, actually. Listen carefully now. Here goes. Red headband, lead headband, dead headband. There! Word perfect, see?
yeah.
They just don't care.
I actually have been meaning to ask you about that.
My God.
About the story behind your headband, I mean.
Well, now you know. So that I'll never forget the shock and humiliation of that day. That's why I wear this red headband every single day without fail.
I cannot believe.
Well, I don't know exactly how much of a shock you think you had back then, but it can't be more than the shock you've just given me now.
Or Mel, apparently.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but the tongue twister I said didn't go the way you seem to have remembered it.
Huh?
It's just as famous as Swift Samurai Swords, so I can't believe you don't know it, really.
You're about to blow this man's whole world up, Ryunosuke.
It goes red bread pan, lead bread pan, dead bread man.
Wait, what? Red pe-
It seems I've knocked some wind out of that headband of yours.
Red headband.
I cannot currently.
It's not too late, Private. You could always start wearing a red bread pan on your head instead.
Your youthful vigor is manifest, young man. Your cheeks are glowing redder than your Hachimaki.
Why do so many words have to be so similar?
So, looking forward to Great Britain then, where you'll have to deliver speeches in court in English.
I suppose I can always shell sea cells on the seashore.
There it is.
Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da.
Clear!
Now let's quickly back up.
Christian. Oh my god.
Yay!
Yeah, so, yeah, that truly was an escapade.
Really was.
Oh, this is the escapade, actually.
Ryunosuke, where is your pin badge?
Yeah, we have to.
Why did it?
Yeah.
I think you actually
it's
have to,
autosave.
you have to start 2. You actually have to start 2 annually. They never found his pin badge.
Select adventure. No, I gotta fucking menus.
There we go.
The
gotta be
Unbreakable
quiet.
Speckled Band.
Oh shit, here we go.
The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The Speckled Band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
It's me.
Mel, the
It's
boss of
fun.
case 2?
It's fun. I've actually read that
Anyway.
that Sherlock Holmes story as a kid.
It's me.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait! Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you? And where have you come from? I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Holmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Great British consulting detective.
Ryunosuke, what are you doing in that closet?
My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air.
Trouble, trouble, trouble.
Wait. I can't move. What the? Why am I in handcuffs?
Who wants to be a Russian Sailor 1?
We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man.
You found me then.
Duh, we found you. And now you pay. Criminal. How long are you hiding in a tiny wardrobe, hmm?
Sorry.
Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, hmm?
No, I'll tell you everything.
There's only one thing I'd like to know from you.
Isn't that...
Why did you do it? Why did you take his life?
Miss Yusato? Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma?
Huh, you pretend you do not know? You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses.
What?
Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside.
His body?
Please, do not try to tell us you are doing this terrible thing in your sleep.
Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I...
I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please!
No. No! I can't do that for so long.
I'm dead.
Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble?
Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come with England? Wait, how else could you come to England with me to study?
It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die.
Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd even be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look.
Damn.
Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body.
Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you.
I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway.
They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure.
What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady?
From our faithful judicial assistant Pikatoba, you mean?
From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away.
No, but if she knew what we'd done, then that would make her guilty by association.
Yeah?
It's best that only you and I know about this.
I suppose so.
Anyway, it's about time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin.
Look at these two law students committing a crime. Like, well acknowledging and everything. They're trying to play it off. Just like, yeah, stowaway Ryunosuke.
It's cool. It's cool.
How did you
Yeah,
explain
it's
this to your
cool.
parents? Anyways, I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Just get used to it, though.
Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it.
Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper?
What?
Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside.
I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together.
And now he's dead.
We'll leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer.
No, I'm not a murderer.
Ah, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes.
No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on this ship, but murdering my best friend.
No one else could have done it. Admit the truth.
Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know.
Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too.
Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened.
Alright, it's time to talk to people.
Investigation phase.
He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it. They think I'm Kazuma's killer.
When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside.
What do you mean?
There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls.
What?
Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation?
This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly?
Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances?
Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me.
The cause of death is still undetermined.
They don't know how he died?
The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience.
Post-mortem, Jesus Christ.
I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call.
So, presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then.
Post-modem. Cloud internet.
That's true, yes.
Internet.
Internet.
Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma?
That's a great question, actually.
Yeah.
Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone.
Please.
Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all.
Well, yes, I was, but...
He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't.
Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder?
The poison, the curare.
Kirai has come back.
I knocked, but there was no reply. And then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewmen forced the cabin door open. And when we managed to get inside,
I think it was the bigger one.
there was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor.
I know that word. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose.
That's right.
I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow.
I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe.
This is all very hard for me to believe too. Trust me.
Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question.
Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. Still throbbing like anything.
More information. What's in the court record?
Hello, Nochi.
Hey, he found it. He found the collar pin.
Yay!
Yeah, he found his collar.
Or it's
What
a
was
new
the
one.
number? What was the number?
This is the...
Yeah, it's
it's the old one. It should be the same one.
Duck, you were wrong.
It's
No, it's-
901.
He said it was 704.
Oh, he did? Ha!
Yeah.
I knew it was 901.
Fug.
901210.
Carl, the number I gave you still had 4 zeros in it. 704. 0,
What
0,
show
704
is
still has 4 zeros.
Well,
Oh? You can see the remnants of the glue we used to stick this over the wardrobe doors. Although it wasn't proper glue, of course. We didn't have any of that with us. So I pulverized some rice into a paste to use instead.
rice glue.
Oh my
But
god.
to a stowaway like me, every single grain of rice represents precious rations. That's why I spread it as thinly as I possibly could. I couldn't bear to waste any.
He couldn't bear. I cannot.
This is the paper seal I wrote for the wardrobe. I remember really working hard to make it. But I'll never forget how Kazuma reacted. Do you expect the Russian crew to be able to read that? He said. Still, I was sure people would get the idea even if they couldn't read it. So we used it anyway. And it worked. I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or what, but no one opened the doors. Until now.
Until now.
Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time.
I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing?
No. That would have been impossible, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together.
So gay.
He actually asked you. But why?
I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself.
I don't understand.
Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you?
You need some culture in you. I mean, it's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself.
Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious.
You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that.
But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer.
Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there?
Surely not.
Well, no, definitely not.
But on a personal level, you were to become a lawyer, then
Then what?
nothing.
Stop that!
Forget it.
Ah,
Red headband, lead headband, dead headband.
dead man?
Good.
Kazuma-sama is... He was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you.
Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little.
You think?
The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before.
Darker than dark.
Susato-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on this ship, I mean.
If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association.
That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact.
Last night!
If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin?
Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did.
He brought me food.
And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I...
Fell asleep?
Well, yes.
So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed.
Well, yes.
She hates it.
I know it sounds unbelievable, really I do, but it's the truth.
She hates it. There, here we go again!
If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything.
Really?
Is something wrong?
Oh, no, it's... please, forget it.
You have all the symptoms of being hit with a fire extinguisher.
Susato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it.
I really don't want to doubt you, but the trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this.
Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? I can't take this.
Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen.
I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it.
He didn't do anything.
And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen.
Well, what do you propose to do then?
I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life, and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me.
Hiya!
You've just been yeeted.
What the?
Oh.
That was a Susato takedown.
Susato what? What martial art form is that?
I'm going to need you to prove it.
Sorry, prove it?
Yes, your innocence. I need evidence.
But how am I supposed to...
Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Scam Wrangle's killing me.
I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime.
It's
badge.
my university collar pin!
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, Was this piece of paper stuck over the doors?
Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly.
I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well.
Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you. He peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them.
But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own.
Yes, that's quite true.
In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, that was easy. Case closed.
Even if you are sprawled hopelessly
Sorry, it's just really funny.
Even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you.
Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up?
I can always count on Kazuma to present the right piece of evidence when there's only two, and one of them is his badge.
Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least.
Thank you. So you finally believe me?
I'm sorry. No.
What?
I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position.
What does she think I am, a magician?
Give it 100 years.
For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same.
All right. Let's get to work, Susato-san.
Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts.
Oh.
I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using...
Okay, I forgot. I haven't played this game in like a year. I forgot. It's really funny to me. I can't help.
I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example.
Right.
God.
You do really like Susato-san.
It's so funny.
And who doesn't?
You doesn't?
Might not yet. Well, anyway, I should make a start in investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Every nook and cranny. Kazuma, I swear. I will avenge your death. Fucking rip, my guy.
All right, it's time for the old Phoenix Wright staple.
Wait.
What?
We gotta present our badge.
No.
Ryunosuke, I'm dead, fam.
Susato-san, about this.
I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. But we don't have time to waste on anything else. We must find clues.
She looks serious. Really quite deadly serious.
She's gonna kill you. All right, what do we got? Oh, Sailor Man.
You were here all along.
Of course he was.
This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing.
London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination.
It looks as though the last entry is incomplete.
Well, yes, he died. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue.
Yeah! That's out of the question.
What?
Kazuma-sama may have departed from this world, but you must not read his private thoughts.
But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case?
Every time I put Ryunosuke in that closet, I laugh.
All right. I won't read it. When you can see.
Poor Kazuma-sama.
I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important?
You may not ask.
Oh dear, that won't do.
Oh, what's the matter,
forget to look around properly.
Oh, are we doing a tutorial? Yes, that's not good.
I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san?
Click the arrow to turn the camera.
I'm sure you're careful to look around using BM, aren't you? Now let's investigate all corners of this cabin.
Yes,
BM.
let's BM. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. From now on, I shall press BM all I can. Oh my god.
What's all this then? Oh yeah.
Ventilation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the snake was.
I think that's some kind of
Sus.
opening for a ventilator.
Yeah,
A
a
hole
way
through
out.
which- through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that a little odd?
What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear to. You're right.
But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside.
That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough. Or something like that.
I suppose. Maybe that's it. We don't know.
That is, yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think.
What do you mean, contraption?
I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants.
Really? That sounds almost magical.
You usually need saint cords for that.
Ah!
Shall we give it a little try?
Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously.
Amazing.
I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people.
No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all.
Wow. What else do we got
And
in here?
yes,
we haven't looked at yet.
pretty much every case in all of these games has some connection to a Sherlock Holmes story.
It's some 2 weeks ago since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san?
I think living isn't quite the right description.
Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout.
The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe.
Ryunosuke, there's a
Last
lock
night-
on the door.
And last night was no exception.
But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin.
No, sadly not.
Poor Kazuma-sama.
Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink.
He must have knocked the inkpot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage.
Who wants to know what it means?
Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it.
I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he?
What does it mean, Christian?
That's the Russian word for garderobe. And that means wardrobe.
Ah! Okay.
That's also, coincidentally, the Swedish word for wardrobe. I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing.
Yeah, I can't believe this Japanese man wrote Russian on the floor.
I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san.
What? Then what language is it?
It pains me to admit it, but I don't know.
It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder?
What does it mean?
Do they know?
Oh, hello! Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago.
Ray, I hope you're fucking ready.
As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. Or is he
how did
gay?
he-
You noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious. And tall, suspiciously tall.
Maruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is?
Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Kazuma's desk? Or is he just playing on it? I can't tell.
Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him.
Am I just imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited?
By the way, I expect that you noticed already, but just in case, if you press space on people when they're on their crosshairs, you can converse with them.
Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself.
Ryunosuke, line up the shot.
Oh, please do.
Well, there's a lot of other things we could examine.
Line up the
What-
shot.
What if you just
Line
ignored
up the
him for
shot.
Space.
Space.
Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation.
Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly.
Yes, perhaps that would be for the best.
Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you long.
What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now?
Hold on. Let that music play for a second.
Du-du-du-du. There's probably a delay, so that came out wrong. We'll get to hear this plenty in the game.
This is gonna play for like the next 20 minutes.
Ah, I see. Fascinating.
Sorry? What do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me.
Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry?
Afghanistan?
What?
And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament.
Oh, well, that's true at least.
But how?
How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction. Hardly worth explaining.
Elementary.
Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else?
But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madame. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the bare-boned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully.
Ryunosuke Sagara.
No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes.
Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you?
Certainly I am.
Ryunosuke's backstory is exploding at every second.
Do you see another in this cabin fits the bill? Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name?
I don't even see one person who fits the bill.
So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama.
Ha! What?
And you're pulling a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked.
No. Listen, there's no way I...
Yeah! Now explain yourself. Tell me everything.
This is ridiculous. And there's the punchline. Ba-da-ba-dum.
How could you do it?
For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary. Obviously.
Oh, forgive me.
And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head.
But was I not right?
No!
Whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Do you not?
Well, yes, maybe.
Ha! There you have it, you see? What do you make of that, hmm?
Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation.
It's too great.
Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right.
Huh. I don't think you introduced yourself.
Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. Charmed.
So, it's really you. The actual Sherlock Holmes.
The very same. The inimitable, actual Sherlock Holmes.
Do you know this man, Susato-san?
He's so fun. The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san. Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him.
What planet have I been living on then?
We must ask him what he deduced. He will have worked out this case entirely already, I'm sure.
Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Well,
the good detective Sherlock Holmes is finally on the case.
Great detective.
And his theme bangs.
So banger.
You're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again?
Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I see. You're German, Sherlock, was it?
No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Holmes.
What a good angle.
You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication.
Oh yes, Rants magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have a sent from England especially.
Ah, yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
In the 22nd
So-
century.
You're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then?
Indeed I am.
Ah. You've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective?
Make no mistake, I'm not the poor, deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward.
Backward?
My trusted biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine.
You have a biographer, do you?
Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name Dr. Wilson, president of keeping shop in London.
Dr. Wilson? Why does that sound familiar?
I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment, I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of the cursed royal crown.
Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not.
You should not take him seriously.
He's inimitable.
He's such a fucking goober. I love him.
Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form.
Clairo?
I know so much and yet so little.
A science?
Really?
The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions to the subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of the muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, throws in the skin. All these things are data.
Right.
And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. Ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago.
How can he look me in the eye and claim that?
How can he indeed?
So you see, I have returned for observation and for deduction and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes.
It's so funny, I love him.
What a good way out of that, honestly.
Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet?
Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow. Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him.
That's right.
When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open.
And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective, Sherlock Holmes, was on board. And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me.
Oh, really? 2 facts, you say?
Oh, fuck.
Jeez.
Oh, he's full of information.
Mr. Holmes, tell us, please. What 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning?
Ah, yes. But first, let's be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me.
Yes, I understand. But what were they?
Allow me to elucidate. 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1. The cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2. The victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance.
Yeah, I'm sure he was, buddy.
Hold on, Mr. Holmes. What made you think the victim was Russian?
Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. Eyes and brains, dear boy.
Got it that old.
Thanks. That is the Russian word for wardrobe.
Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian?
In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian.
Oh my god.
Kazuma was Russian, was he?
Initially, I considered Gardero maybe the name of the killer. A certain Robert Gard, perhaps.
Hey, nice reference.
But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong to not look into the ones inside the wardrobe there at least.
Well, you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly.
Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer.
Why is it that I'm Russian too?
I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted.
This is fucking killing me, dude.
And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people.
Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea.
Gods protect.
And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong.
I took a photograph of the victim in the message, and I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed.
Poor boy.
Yes. Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this.
Kazuma? More like Kazum isn't.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes, thank you. I'll just take this.
Indubitably.
Painful photo into my court record here, so I can stare at it whenever I
Indubitably,
need to.
this young
you know.
lad appears to have been faded away, it seems. Yes.
Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes?
What, pray?
You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary, fleeing from Russia, and all of that.
Ah, yes, the train of reason that led me to the truth.
Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? I don't know that one.
Certainly, if it interests you.
I think that's Horosho.
No, it's not. Horror Show is written differently.
Okay.
How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean.
Ah, the now famously accurate troubling predicament you find yourself in.
Huh. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part.
Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace seduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads: Revolutionary violent Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Why the long face? This vessel made a port call to Shanghai yesterday, and last night, the young Russian was murdered.
Since when was Kazuma Russian?
It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor.
It was a simple act of reason to realize the culprit of this crime. The same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered.
That's right, Josh. The Shanghai
Yes,
connection.
you. Violent Bolshevik.
No. How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face.
Why the long face, Ryunosuke?
Well, you are a fierce revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well.
Please.
And, I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more?
Well, that's because I'm a stowaway.
What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower.
Ah, yes. The journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds of the man is perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake.
No mistake.
Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with Russian reporters?
Whoa.
Russian
Reporters, I wonder.
And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan?
Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolsheviks recently returned after a period of subservience activities in the war-torn region of Afghanistan.
Where even is it, anyway? This Afghanistan place.
Yeah,
God.
get the paper for yourself. As a little memento of this great deduction.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I was told all that of his interest in moving its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby.
Oh.
A revolutionary, a violent Bolshevik.
You may find the article in the back of the page if you're interested as well.
On the back?
Cast your eye over it sometime if interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret.
I think I will.
Alright. Well, it's still all in Russian. This is interesting.
Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san?
Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. Oh, thank you.
I can't read a single word, I'm afraid.
No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think?
She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you?
I don't know. I can't make any sense of it.
I'm glad you noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents.
Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes.
Look at that Shomsar. Look at this pretty boy. Look at him.
It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novrik Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented, young Nikolina Pavlova.
Why are Russian names so hard to remember?
It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from the dressing room. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles.
Mein Gott.
Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles?
I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money.
Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves.
The tiara is the property of Novik Ballet. It would seem the director is beside himself with worry.
Yes, I'm not surprised.
The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance on all ports with sailings to Great Britain.
Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country?
It does seem to be the Russian thing to do.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo.
I guess we should check the front page as well. Hello, you, handsome.
Why the long face?
I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian.
No, me neither. I have no idea what any of
This
this
looks like
says.
a Street Fighter 6 character.
He really does. He looks like fucking what's his name, Yang, with a giant beard.
The pair of you floundering is a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance.
I think his name is
sorry.
Fong. Yeah, Fong.
Fong.
The article on the front page of this newspaper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads, Revolutionary violent warship flees Russia via Shanghai.
Yes, you told us that before.
It reveals also that those who were seeking see the man's beard with their eyes never lived to tell the tale.
Oh my goodness, he is fearsome.
Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? Ah,
Fuck. Why does autoplay have to happen so easily?
I think it's because you keep your mouse down there.
I'm bad. I'm so bad.
It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. Thankfully, Mr. Sholmes did. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to just glance at her. Maybe I'm a picture. Ooh, pretty Russian lady.
There were in
pretty
fact
Russian
4.
lady. So, let's look at the people in here for a second, why don't we? You know, 23. Your best dead friend. 16. Your new best friend.
She is the epitome of a refined Japanese lady.
34!
Yeah.
He's so old.
We're almost as old as him.
Yeah.
You could have fooled me.
I'm not.
Well, you're closer to the dead guy, I suppose.
That's true. Same age, actually.
Uh-oh.
Right, Christian.
Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you?
Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim.
Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all?
No.
Observe for a moment. Let's stop the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text.
London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people.
Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading.
You mean you've read it already?
It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese.
Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Susato-san? Aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns?
I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean?
Life is so unfair.
Damn. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely, this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details.
Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese?
A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado. Nado. I trust you're suitably impressed.
Brother.
Me when I was 15 watching anime.
I trust
Konnichiwa,
you're
my
suitably
dudes. Sayonara!
Sayonara, baby.
Aye.
But this diary is littered with complicated looking characters, of which I can read precisely none.
Look at this cute little animation. So what was all that showing off about before then?
If you'd be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it for you, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, now it's okay?
That's right.
Much obliged, my dear madame.
The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound.
Whistling sound.
These are very deep waters. Pray, go on.
The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled band? What on earth does that mean?
Well, it's a snake, clearly.
That's a terrible way to describe a snake, by the way.
What?
I have no idea.
Arthur Conan Doyle is rolling in his grave.
I've never heard that expression before.
The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring.
To the ventilator grill.
To the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin.
Yes, the adjoining cabin.
Next door neighbors.
We must go, speckled band mom Melissa.
So, I believe I have given you enough to consider for the time being at least.
Do you have somewhere to go?
As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe. And if I am still too long, the season takes hold.
Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to.
Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence the truth will become clear soon enough.
Do you think perhaps that we could go with you?
No, that would be somewhat complicated.
What? But why?
A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer.
Oh, let me do that then. Oh, fuck.
Ah!
Oh, these.
After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No?
There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place.
Whatever you mean. I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point.
You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago.
Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing.
Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too.
You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really.
So what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are.
Well, anyway, that was then, and this is now.
What do you mean?
What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, Then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate.
My god.
Now he's just being plain rude.
What a guy. What a card.
And off he goes, having just laughed in my face.
Lol,
His
him
sense
out.
of, his sense of humor is as twisted as his name.
Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for?
Huh?
We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well.
Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? Is nowhere co-
Yeah!
They're on your hands, not your knees.
After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate?
As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part.
Ryu Throsuke, more like.
I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we?
Yes, we have to make Duck do a silly Russian voice.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. And also the bone there on the ground, and the sword, and the books, and the case, and
Good
the
idea.
outline of the body. The situation doesn't look good for me, and I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this and bring the real culprit to justice.
The situation doesn't look good for me, and I owe it to Kazuma. Why'd you have to
Look at
die and put me in this situation?
I hope
Look
I
at
did
this
all
thing.
right there. My
You
throat
did
was kind of giving out.
Fantastic, Ray.
Yeah, you did good.
Oh my god, dude.
The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled the same way.
And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea. Although he's fallen over as well.
Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mown down at once. Curious.
I wonder if... perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think?
I seriously doubt it.
And perhaps... it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage.
I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder?
Yes.
Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Ba-da-ba-da!
Neat.
These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria.
Booyah!
Buria!
It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board.
Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object? Oh, pet.
Girl, we need to have a talk.
I can't decide.
Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here.
I am dying. Well,
Why not to
we've
die?
already looked at that, Christian. Nice try.
Well, the ink.
I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back.
Very
Alright.
well. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have been broken clean in two.
The glass is such a beautiful color. Looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from the kimono outfit.
I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him. Would he?
Bah, bah. And the mark beside it. What is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue.
Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it?
That's right.
He was killed with a brick! Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin.
Bone.
That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty. I fucking cleaned
Yes,
it out.
it was very delicious, wasn't it?
It was.
But
Wow.
did you eat on the floor here?
I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor.
When and how indeed.
But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he?
Man, sure would suck to be. Hold on. Sure would suck to be a Japanese man at the turn of the 20th century that hates chicken. Like, fish or nothing, I guess.
I mean,
Nice.
fish were like incredibly. It's a sea. It's an island.
I
an
know,
ocean
but it's
island.
like beef was like just getting introduced to Japan at the time, so it's like you either ate fish only or you just fucking like sucked it up and didn't have any meat.
I think that's more
Well, I
common than
mean,
you realize it was.
I mean, maybe he had eggs too.
He didn't do something, which meant all the more for me.
Sorry, Christian.
Eggs and rice.
Kazuma-sama didn't like the... No, that's right. So he didn't touch it, which meant all the more for me.
Oh no! Does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly?
He starved to death.
It's just too horrible.
Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach.
Good job.
Good job.
Seigi, the Japanese word for justice, as we both know. The brush strokes are straight and true. Mostly just like Kazuma.
Bazinga.
Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart.
Inosuke, if only you
Yet
knew.
can you really look at those characters without feeling shame? Knowing who drew them so thoughtfully?
Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on the ship?
Owned.
Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win.
That's right. You can't win.
I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place.
What do you mean?
There you go.
There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute.
What is it?
That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all.
How odd.
Peculiar.
So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama.
No.
Alright. Sword.
That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes, he was always saying that the Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip.
I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet.
A spirit of justice, you might say?
No way.
No way.
Seigi no Mikata.
When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed.
It's quite a small bolt, and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure.
Pay attention to this line here.
I won't.
And it just
I'll
slides
never
across
look at it.
to secure the door shut. Not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across. Hold on to that line for later, viewers.
A nugget of thought.
It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine.
Whoa!
Oh, look over there.
The crewman, do you mean? He wasn't there before, was he?
That's what I thought.
Why don't we try talking to him?
Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again, but I suppose I could try.
Wait a minute, that pose.
Rev your pipes, Ron.
Wait a minute, that pose.
Yeah, get ready.
Is that?
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
Oh, no. It's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir.
Yes? What can I do for you?
What sort of reused assets are these? I recognize that face. But he can't be. Oh my god, it is.
Strawberry Jim.
It is.
I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga.
It's the cops!
It's the cops!
Hello again. Do you like my Josuke cosplay?
What? I do. What are you doing here? Yosk 8.
Josuke 8. I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped.
Nearly stopped, I hope.
I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew to board the ship.
Are you ever a detective? Again?
I'll let you know later.
You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector.
If there's anything that I can to do, if there's anything I can do to help you, please ask.
I never expected to see this man on board.
Cough up your evidence.
Well, here it comes. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation.
Soft and wet.
You know, we probably should have talked to that Russian sailor at some point. Excuse me.
What?
I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Would you mind if I investigated a little outside?
Oh. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true, I see.
Sorry?
The criminal asking prison guard to help him escape. Very funny.
We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping.
Niet. You'll stay in this cabin until next port. Then it is up to Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay.
All right. There's no point trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure. Are there still things like... Yeah.
No?
I thought you wanted to talk.
The ink? Oh, well, your thing's on the table.
I'm still alone.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh, she's going over this stuff again. Okay.
Yeah.
The speckled band.
What on earth could it be?
What did he mean?
Cabin next door.
Man, I
What
love
does Kazuma mean by this?
my favorite Metal Gear Solid character is Speckled Snake.
That's a very large traveling case, isn't it?
Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me.
Memories? What do you mean?
Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case.
Ah, yes. I see it says "this way up" in Japanese.
Which, in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over. And then I was tossed on the floor here.
Oh dear. Being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds.
Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown.
Damn.
the ink? Nope.
Christian, my dear man, I believe we're done.
It does appear that way.
Are you just avoiding contact with me? Is that it?
Well, you didn't really do much last time.
Ah!
Uh-oh.
Wait, show him our badge.
I understand.
So, what are your special orders this time, Inspector?
Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew?
I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility.
For what?
My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard.
That hasn't gone very well.
It was the Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated.
Well,
Assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility?
Only conflict remains.
I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities.
This is incredible.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated.
Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew.
Give me your Russian accent.
give me your badge.
I see.
And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time he'd been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here in the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment. Huh?
Sad suicidal noises.
And Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize.
Inspector.
So if there's anything at all I can do to help now, just say the word. I summon my stand, soft and wet.
We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves.
I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer.
Of course not.
We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door.
Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin.
I'm sorry.
What?
You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you moved even a touch of the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two.
I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well.
Unfortunately. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive.
What do you mean?
If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really. I'd lay my life on the line if I had to.
But I don't see how.
There may be a way.
What? Really?
Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession.
Evidence?
It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the Present panel.
Present.
And choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use.
So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes. I think I might know what we can use.
It's time for the pin!
Let's see. Don't steal my joke before I can make it. Let's see if I can present the pin. The detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain.
All right. It's my pin.
Inspector, can I show you this?
Is that the fabled Imperial Yume University pen badge?
I'm not sure if it's really fabled exactly, but...
So, you're a genuine student then?
Sorry?
Nothing like me with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. Is that what you're trying to say?
Can I have my badge back, please?
You think you're better than me, don't you?
Aha.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. What's that?
It's Kazuma's diary.
Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary.
Strange. In what way?
He wrote, "What looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill."
A speckled band? That is strange.
Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is...
Now, you guys said speckled band was really dumb. But
Yeah?
it's the middle of the night. Your room is lit by a lamp on the ceiling. You look over to the ventilator grill, and I'm assuming he didn't see the head, just the body of the snake. And you've never seen a snake like that before.
If you've never seen a snake before...
What do you call that? What do you call a tube hanging from the ventilator with a
patterned
bunch
tube,
of with a
yes.
speckled pattern on it?
A patterned tube.
No, Christian.
Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it?
You're very astute, Inspector.
That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin.
That's right. So if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was.
Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you.
Really? You're willing to do that?
Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though.
But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders?
Oh my god.
Look at you, Spot.
I'm a man of my word. And I promise you I'll lay down my life to protect the world. I mean, if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do.
Thank you.
And then transform the Kamen Rider.
Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san.
Just select move, and then we can leave this cabin at last.
Move.
Move. All right. Let's see what we can find out.
All right.
Move. By the way, have you seen my transformation belt? No? Okay.
9th January, 7 to 48
No,
a.m.
Mashley, look out!
SS Buria. First class cabin passageway.
Boodia.
Leon, help! I'm stuck in this comically large mousetrap.
Damn you, Leon. You had to hang out with Mousley Graham.
I have to admit.
I have to admit that the stream is going to end.
Yeah.
This is a good place. This is a good place to leave it. We got out of the room. We're on the boat. We met Mr. Herlock Sholmes. You know, stuff's going on. We know what.
Eyes and brains, dear stream. Eyes and brains.
Can we finish this case next stream?
No.
Yeah, we can.
It'd be quite tight, but
No, I think we can do it.
That'd be
Yeah,
a
I
long
mean-
one.
No, I think we got it.
it's not. The case isn't as big as you might think. It is still quite big, but
Yeah, certainly.
it's
still a little
smaller than
big,
you'd
but-
think.
I think we got it. I think we got it.
Yeah.
Either way,
yeah?
I might see you tomorrow, chat. If not, I'll try to see you on Tuesday. These antibiotics I've gotten for my health stuff are really fucking me up and making me really tired. But I had to stream this. I can't put this off. This is the one thing I will push myself to do really hard. So I'll try to push myself to stream some more. And if not, I'll see you on Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe Saturday again.
Proud of you, Mel.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
See
You're
you.
doing it. Bye-bye.
Abayo.
Ryunosuke, I'm
Aibo.
dead.
But then who will I have sex with now?
Oh,